Say goodbye to 2006. Hi, everybody. The drought is over. The Kings are going to the playoffs. Let me repeat. The Kings are going to the playoffs. The Kings are going to the playoffs for the first time since 2006. Ryan in Sacktown joining me next. Oh, boy. 120-80 blowout up in Rip City. Ryan, the Kings are going to the playoffs.
Everybody at 3. The Kings are in the playoffs. Holy moly.
Oh, my gosh.
It is official.
I had them winning by 28, but
you're wrong.
I was way off.
You were off the right way, so that's okay. But I will say this. You would have been right. If they would have lost tonight, probably like one of the worst losses ever.
It would have been the worst loss of the year. Kings fans, how you feeling tonight? Spectacular. That's exactly right. Spectacular. Everybody is pumped up. Ice cream cake and Coors Light time. Whatever. Whatever. So happy to have everybody here on the stream. Grant and Ryan and the Kings are going to the playoffs. All right? We got people crying. We have people that don't even know what to do.
I know.
They don't even know how to react.
It's been a long road, everybody. Soak it in. This is, you know what? This is the start of the second season and the funnest season. So enjoy the hell out of tonight.
Wow. Fox, 18 points. Keegan Murray, congratulations to him. Sets the rookie record, breaking Donovan Mitchell for threes for a rookie in a season. Good job right there. Again, the Kings had 4 of their 5 starters in double figures. Harrison Barnes, the only one that did not. He had 7 points. And then everyone seemed to get into the game and contribute. So that was good. Malik Monk, we talked about him in the first half. He got his offense going in that second half.
Yes, he did. They figured it out in the third quarter, Grant. Boy, did they explode, and that's all they needed.
I can't believe it. I can't believe that I was courtside for the Kings and the Spurs in 2006 with Mike Bibby, Ron Artest, Kevin Martin. I mean, seems like forever. And you know what?
Yeah.
They're, our younger generation, like Connor, and they have no recollection. They were babies the last time the Kings were in the playoffs. Some of our viewers weren't even born yet. I mean, it's unbelievable, isn't it?
It is. And Grant, think about this too. That was kind of like at the tail end of like playoff hype, right? Because that was like 6 or 7 straight years the Kings had been in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, gosh, I can't believe it's been that long. It's amazing.
It is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Everyone is just pumped up as you should be. 120-80. And now the question is, all right, can you win 4 more games and get to 50? That's a nice number.
Well, you got one more on Friday night.
That's a win.
That's a guaranteed win. And then we've got San Antonio. You would think that would be a win. New Orleans is playing decent right now.
Yeah,
that's a coin flip. You've got Dallas. It seems like a win.
Yep.
And then you got the Warriors, and then Denver's going to probably be a throwaway game. So I think you can get there, Grant. I mean, it's all going to depend on what Coach Brown does.
That's correct.
Minutes and how he handles the team going forward.
Do you want the 2 seed? Hell yeah, you want the 2 seed. Absolutely. You're now a game behind Memphis because you have the tiebreaker. I mean, standings 2 games, but you're if you tie them, you win the tiebreaker. So yeah, you want the 2 seed. You want to go as high as you can. Absolutely, you want the 2 seed. I mean, I'm surprised someone would ask that question. Yes. Yes. All right. I like this. Grant and Ryan are trending on Twitter. Takeover time. If you don't like that, you don't like Kings basketball. Oh, boy.
Yes, indeed.
Hey, I love this. I've been talking about this all year. I am so freaking happy for you. Okay. The heartache, the frustration, the embarrassment that this franchise has been over some of the years of this drought, not all the years, saving this team, the team's moving. No, they're not. They're staying. No, they're not staying. They're moving. The NBA, the mayor, the 30 local investors who stepped up, and everyone else kept this team here. And tonight is your reward for sticking through thick and thin and not bailing on this franchise. So I am pumped. I am so happy for you. You deserve this.
I can't put anything on top of that. This man lived, breathed everything Sacramento Kings basketball for 32 years. So he knows all of you much better than I do. And this is it. And this is only the start, Grant. This is only the start. The way this team is built, I think we're going to see future playoffs for years to come after this.
Yeah, I think David Stern is smiling somewhere right now. And without David Stern, we would not be on the stream right now talking about Sacramento Kings basketball. They would be in Seattle. So there is no question about that. I don't think Jerry's crying. I think Jerry is happy. I think he's not crying. I think this is such a shame. And I say this, such a shame they couldn't do this 48 hours ago at home when they had a chance to beat Minnesota. That would have been just perfect, but it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, it would have been storybook, right? But
Yeah.
Storybook isn't always the way the Kings write it. So,
That's right.
Just like the 16 years, the fact that it's tonight, we can relish in the G-Man's call, which I have not heard. I can't wait to get a clip of that. And everybody, whatever you're doing at home, man, just enjoy it and be safe too. Be safe, but enjoy it.
Absolutely. 120 to 80, and the drought is over. The drought is over. And now it's time to focus in on the playoffs and not just make the playoffs, win. Go out and win. You know what? The West is up for grabs. Go out and compete, win a playoff series or two. You just never know. Go out and do it. Just like this season. Not a lot of people thought the Kings could be a second or a third seed. Nobody. And here they are. So now, shock the world. Go out and win some playoff games. Go out and win some playoff series.
There is not a centimeter of pressure on this team's shoulders with the expectations of winning a championship. They are playing with house money, and that's a dangerous team when you're playing with house money.
All right. This is so freaking awesome. So happy to have everybody here on the stream. 120 to 80. The Kings are going to the playoffs. Man, and you know what's amazing? It's still March. Think about that for a minute. It's March, and we know the Kings are going to the playoffs. How about that?
Grant, it's all those games you and I sat here talking about, well, if they can get this one, it'll give them a little bit of cushion. If this happens, that happens. And guess what? They didn't really need the cushion, but it got them to the playoffs sooner. Mm-hmm. And now, they get time to do what they want to do, and rightfully so. And I do want to go back to something with the comment about could the Kings be the 2? So we talked about the Kings schedule coming in. Here's Memphis's. They're home against the Clippers, which was home against the Clippers Friday. They are at the Bulls. They're home against Portland. They're at New Orleans. They're at Milwaukee, and they're at OKC to end the season. That's a considerably harder schedule than the Kings are facing.
I would agree. The Milwaukee game may not mean a lot, so maybe the Greek Freak doesn't play. But yeah, again, it's still right there for the Kings. We just went over their schedule. So I think the Kings have a much more favorable schedule than Memphis. So, yeah, you want to be the 2 seed. If you can be the 2 seed, yeah, you want to be the 2 seed. Absolutely.
No doubt that would give you a home series against Memphis in the second round.
Yep. All right. Again, 120, 280. And no, thank you. All right. If you don't like that, you don't like NBA basketball. It's phenomenal. Someone said, watched at a bar downtown, and at the end of the whole bar had a loud and proud Light the Beam chant going. Everyone's pumped up. It is absolutely pumped up and good. You know what? So freaking awesome. Love it. Awesome.
Yes, indeed. And we actually have a special surprise for you, Grant. If you go to the graphics page of our program on Friday, John Finch, who's damn near been growing his beard since the last time the Kings have been in the playoffs. Yep, there's Finchy himself. He will be shaving that beard off live on this post-game show on Friday night.
I love it. How great is that? How great is that? Man, love it. Hey, get your T-shirts. If you don't like that, oh boy. All right. Order your shirts right now. All you need to do is go to ifyoudon'tlikethat.com/shop or grantnapier.com. Order your shirts. All right. Get your shirts and let's do it. Here it is again. Oh boy. 120 to 80. The Kings are going to the postseason. How do you like that?
Oh, I like it. I like it a lot. So Grant, when you were announcing that 2006 last playoff run, you knew the Kings were going to be rebuilding a little bit. How long did you think it would realistically be? It couldn't have been 16 years.
No, I thought maybe 2 or 3 years. I mean,
2 or 3.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
16 years? Are you kidding me? I think Charlotte now has the longest drought. It's now 6 years.
6, yeah.
Think about that. I mean, I went through a lot of things when I did the Kings. 43 straight road losses. Think about that. You only play 41 a year on the road. The Kings lost 43 consecutive road games. Think about that.
Yeah. You know, you guys were a walking W for the other team anytime you walked in the arena.
All right. So the Kings blow out the Blazers, and now who are they going to play in the playoffs? Yeah, John is going to be a new man. You're actually right. He's going to be a new man. There's no doubt about that. Yes.
I'm actually excited for John because who knows what they're going to find in that beard. There might be a cowbell, maybe a couple potato chips, ticket to the game. Who knows? Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. It is freaking awesome. All right. Again, the Kings I just love seeing all the messages on the chat line, how many people are on the stream and on Periscope. We absolutely love it. And game 1 is going to be special. There's no doubt about that. And they better win. Okay. they better win. They better win. All right. Does it matter who we play first round? Yeah, it matters.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes.
I mean, yes, it matters. Okay. That's why I think, if you can go up to number 2, go up to number 2. I mean, I don't know who's going to be 6 or 7, but I'd rather play the 7th place team than the 6th place team. Now, could that be the Lakers? It could be. Could it be the Warriors? It could be. I mean, could it be Minnesota? It could be. The bottom line is if you make the playoffs as the number 2 seed or the number 3 seed, you are expected to win the first round because you're the higher seed. You had the better season. So go out and prove to people that you're worthy of your regular season. You talked about Brian Windhorst earlier today, or somebody did. I think maybe it was Connor, not giving the Kings any credit, saying that, all the teams in the West are trying to line up to play Sacramento in the first round. All right, well, that's disrespect. Don't be disrespected. Go out and show the basketball world that you're worthy of your regular season. Go out and do it.
Yeah, and to be fair to Brian Windhorst, he was reporting what officials from other teams were telling him. That wasn't his opinion.
Yeah.
But but you know what? I would rather be in that position where you're being disrespected than, overly hyped.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. Have a little chip on your shoulder because that's what Sacramento's always thrived on. We were the cow town that couldn't knock off LA, right? We couldn't hang with big boys. That's what we thrive on.
All right. Again, the Kings win this. And I want to tell you about Bennett's, a third location coming to Rockland soon. Roseville, Eureka and Lead Hill Road, Sacramento, Howe and Fair Oaks. Their prime seafood and steaks, incredible. I love the redfish if I'm going seafood with a side of sauteed spinach. If you're in the steak, tough to beat the bone-in ribeye. I love the porterhouse as well, the prime New York. They have hanger steak. Go to Bennett'sRestaurants.com. Check out their menu, food to go. Again, I talk about the weekend brunch, prime rib on the weekends. They have over 50 types of wine available by the glass. You're going to love it. Bennett's. And don't forget, they're coming to the Blue Oaks Town Center shortly, and they are huge Sacramento Kings supporters. We appreciate their support here on the stream, and we appreciate your support. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome to our programming, and take a second to hit that subscribe button, please. It would mean a lot. Please subscribe. Give us a thumbs up, the like button. We would appreciate that as well. All right, 40-point win, no contest, playoffs. Now it's on to just do not have any injuries, Ryan. That's the only key the rest of the way. Don't have any injuries. Nothing else really matters.
Yep, don't have any injuries and watch what happens behind you. That's what it is. And you know what, Grant? I do want to take a second because we wouldn't be having this moment if it wasn't like people like you that really helped get the community about keeping this team over the airwaves. Another guy that did that, Carmichael Dave. Okay.
Yep.
Dave was there at the game tonight.
Oh, wow.
Just watching so intently.
Yeah, it was great.
Shed some tears after the Kings won. And I want to give him a huge shout out too, because we wouldn't be having this conversation if it wasn't like for the two of you and all the others around that were just a part of that group that got us to stay.
I have shared the story on many occasions of what that period of time was like. And Dave and I used to talk 10, 15 times a day at all hours of the day and night. There were times when we would be on the phone at 3 a.m, 4 a.m. There were no two people in all of Sacramento that knew more about what was going on than we did, okay, with the exception of the mayor. And it was a tumultuous time. It was incredible what Dave did and Sean Thomas with the Playing the Win tour. That was remarkable. Everyone did their part. Kings fans were amazing during that period of time. I mean, I can't say enough about the fans. That's why I keep on saying this over and over again. I'm so happy for you because I know what you went through, okay? Because I know what people behind the scenes went through to help save this team. And, you know, you can say thank you, Grant. You can say thank you, Carmichael Dave, and we appreciate the thank yous, trust me. But without Mayor Kevin Johnson, the Kings are not in Sacramento, okay? So if I had to prioritize, I would put Kevin Johnson 1, David Stern 2, and then after that, you can put any order you want. But without Kevin Johnson, the Kings are not in Sacramento. Without David Stern, the Kings are not in Sacramento. No disrespect to Adam Silver, but if he were the commissioner back then, the Kings would be in Seattle. They would not be in Sacramento. Don't ever forget that. Don't ever forget what the late David Stern did for your team, okay? He saved the Sacramento Kings. He gave the city of Sacramento every single chance to step up to the plate and answer the bell, and they did each and every time. Appreciate the donation, Bruce. Thank you very much. And again, so appreciative of your support. All right. Awesome. I don't know where Kevin Johnson is. I really don't. Thank you to David Stern. You're exactly right. I mean, David Stern, absolutely amazing. You know, again, I'm not even going to get into that. What I am going to say is Carmichael Dave deserves a huge pat on the back. He did yeoman's work during that time. And I know because we were in the trenches together. And, you know, this will be part of my book. There are some things that happened behind the scenes during that whole saga that still have not really been revealed, that haven't been made public. And when I think back during that period of time and all the things that I knew what was going on and heard, some of the things were just, you could not believe it, okay? You could not believe. I'm talking about meetings that were going on in New York. I'm talking about people that just got up and walked out of the meetings. I'm talking about things that, like, would make you go, well, that can't be true. Yeah, it was true. There's a lot of pain and suffering, a lot of wear and tear on everyone in Sacramento during that time. But that's the past. Now you've got the present and the future of the playoffs that's beginning in 2 weeks for a team that, let's face it, there's not been a more surprising team in the NBA in a long time. I can't think of a team, Ryan. I mean, help me out here. A team that's been more surprising during the regular season than this year's Sacramento Kings team. Yeah, there are some people that thought the Kings would make the playoffs. Nobody had the Kings winning possibly 50 games and being a number 2 or a 3 seed. Nobody had that.
No, I think the only guy that was closest was the Summer League guy. Kings 40 wins this year. But this is the best story in basketball this year, easily. Nobody saw it coming, and that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of sports. You say it all the time, Grant. It's why they play the game. I mean, the only other team I can think of from the regular season in recent memory, not this season, would be like the Atlanta Hawks, like maybe 6 or 7 years ago, when they had that great regular season and then just did not do well in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's right. We should point out the Kings did clinch home court in the first round, so they won't be any worse than a 4 seed. So, and Pacific Division champs and everything else. We really, really appreciate all of the support on this stream. We just can't thank you enough. And again, if you are new, please subscribe to the channel. Please hit the thumbs up, the like button. We would greatly appreciate that. Yeah, congratulations to Keegan Murray breaking Donovan Mitchell's record for most threes in NBA history by a rookie. Good job by him. What a beautiful rookie season he's having.
Just amazing. You know, for every 1 or 2 things you think the guy's doing wrong, he's doing 10 things right.
Yeah.
So very happy for him.
Well, no, thank you. You know, everyone keeps on thanking me. You should thank yourself. You should thank yourself for being rewarded for sticking with this team, because there were a lot of people that didn't. And if you're one of those that, you know, just said, no matter what, I'm waiting, I'm going to be I'm going to just be, I'm going to celebrate one day, just like Cubs fans did for all those years. And they finally broke through and won a championship. So it's very special for those of you that went through thick and thin. I'm really happy for all of you. I mean, I really am. I am really, really happy. And thank you, Connor. I appreciate that. It's my pleasure. You know, I've always said the bond that I have with the fans is never going to go away. Doesn't matter where I'm living. Doesn't matter what I'm doing as a job. The reality is that's going to take me right to my grave. All right. The fans, that's never leaving my soul. It's always part of who I am. It's part of the fabric of Grant Napier. No matter nobody, there's nothing anyone can do to me. Nothing that would make me stop loving the Sacramento Kings fans. Nothing. Okay. I don't care if I went and worked for another NBA team and was blessed to be behind the mic for a championship. It's never going to take away the passion and the respect and the love I have for you fans in Sacramento. And I came from a crazy, crazy environment for sports in New York. And I know what rabid sports fans are. And I worked in the Midwest and I covered the Big Ten for 3 years. Okay. And I know what craziness is all about when it comes to fans. One of the first stories that I did when I moved to Sacramento to work as the sports director at Channel 31 in 1987, they sent me out to the old Arco 1, to do a story because single game tickets were going on sale. Okay. Some single game tickets were being released and they were going on sale. And I went out and did a story, and I'll never forget this. And thank you very much for your donation. Don't know yet. People had been camping out, had been there for 2 and 3 days. They had their chairs, the coolers, the tents, waiting to be able to get the tickets when they went on sale at the box office at the old Arco. And I was so blown away to think, gosh, man, these are true fans right here. That was the first time I realized how truly special Sacramento Kings fans were. There's nothing like it.
No, there isn't. Grant, we're going to see if the architecture at Golden One Center is going to hold up on April 15th, because that building is going to be rocking. But, you know, for as much as you say about the fans and how they will always be a fabric of you, I'm seeing all these comments just about how you're a fabric of them. and just everything you've given them throughout the years and the memories. I mean, some of their memories are synonymous with your calls, some of their best memories and some of their worst.
Yep.
But, there's ups and downs, but they so love you right
Thank you.
back
Well,
too. So
I love the fans, and I appreciate you saying that. I know you said April 15th. We don't know for sure if game one would be the 15th or the 16th, to the best of my
Good
knowledge.
point.
Okay. So we need to wait when the schedule comes out. And generally, that does not happen. That won't happen, by the way, until after game 82. Now we have the play-in, which obviously will affect TV and everything else. All right. But the Kings, we do know, will be home for games 1 and 2. The Kings are in the playoffs. All right. Well, if you want to hear another King story, I mean, you'd have to give me a topic. I have a lot of King stories. I would just tell you that I experienced, I'll tell you a funny story. Maybe you won't think it's funny, but Reggie Theus, former coach of the Kings, was a great NBA player. He really was. And Reggie was tough as nails. Reggie was one of the toughest guys you'd ever want to be around. But Reggie looked like the Playboy, the cover of GQ.
Oh, yeah.
So the third year that the Kings were in Sacramento, their final year of the old Arco, Reggie was not playing, okay? And I was standing next to Tom Curran on press row. The game was not on TV that night. Tom did the games on TV for the first 3 years, and Tom and I we got to be very good friends. And the national anthem is playing, and Tom gives me a nudge. And while the anthem's playing, he's like, "Look at Reggie." And Reggie was not playing, but he was standing on the bench right next to us in a leisure suit, like a lime green leisure suit. And then the national anthem, and Tom goes, "You know what? If you and I try to wear that, we would be the laughingstock of Sacramento. But on Reggie, he looks like he should be on the cover of a magazine." Reggie was Mr. GQ, but I don't know if folks that are my generation or even remember what the leisure suits look like. Okay. That was a very popular look in the 80s. The long hair, the leisure suits with the big collar over the, and
Reggie, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And Reggie looked like, he was getting ready to audition for Saturday Night Fever. You know what I'm saying? Right?
Yep.
And then I got to tell you, Tom and I start laughing, and Reggie sees us, and literally we are just howling. And Reggie comes over and goes, "What's so funny?" And Tom told Reggie what we were laughing at, and then Reggie broke up. Reggie has a very polarizing laugh. Reggie's laugh is like, when Reggie laughs, you laugh because it's just so freaking hilarious. And so that was a moment that I'll remember at that old Arco. Reggie Theus not playing in a game and in his leisure suit, looking all suave and GQ. And he was the only one that probably could have pulled that off.
I'm surprised Reggie didn't have you guys fitted for a couple of those suits too.
Oh no, Reggie's got common sense. Oh my gosh. No, Reggie knows. Well, we're sharing some really amazing memories. The other memory I have, and I think a lot of people that are on the stream right now don't remember other than the video because they weren't born yet or they were too young. But the first playoff game at the Arco in 1996, Game 3 against the Sonics, to this day, was the greatest event that I've ever been to at that Arco. And I did the very first game ever at Arco in 1988. I was behind the mic on TV for that. I was there for every game. There was never an atmosphere, including Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals of Mike Bibby shot. There was never anything like Game 3. And whenever I talk to former players that played on that team, they all say the same thing. I had Olden Polynice on my podcast, I don't know, maybe a year ago or less than a year ago.
Yeah.
And Olden played for a lot of different teams. And I asked him about that. He said, "Grant," he goes, "let me tell you something. There's never been anything that I've experienced in my entire professional career or basketball career than that Game 3 in that building that night when we ran out onto the court. It was so special." And I think the same thing is going to happen here in a couple of weeks when Game 1 gets ready to start at the Golden One Center. I think it's going to be so special. And I think the people that are going to be at that game, 20, 25, 30, 35 years from now, are going to be telling their kids and grandchildren, tell you right now, there is nothing like the first playoff game in the history of the Golden One Center. There will be nothing like that. You'll remember that forever. I remember standing on the floor, getting ready to broadcast the game when the Kings ran out for their formal layups. And I am not kidding you. I got numb. Like I literally, my body got goosebumps, and I had a feeling that was very difficult to describe. I just became like, I had never experienced that. And listen, I've been blessed. I've been to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. I've been to Super Bowls. I've been to World Series. I've been to a lot of great events. I've never experienced the emotion of being in that building on that April night in 1996. Nothing ever like that in my life.
Grant, I can't imagine what it was like being there in person, but I can give you the other side of it, watching it on TV. Very rarely does the TV side show like the layup lines just with the announcers laying out. And that's what they did that night when the team ran out. And I still remember the song to this day. It was like the Jimmy Page, "Come with me," dun, 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 and the place was just shaking. Everybody was on their feet. And it gave me chills from home. And it's still, and I've been to a number of playoff games, that is still the number one playoff memory that I personally have. And I saw Mike Bibby shot in Game 5.
Again, we are so blessed that we can even reflect back on that. I remember standing at the very top of section 203 at Arco that night and looking down in disbelief because I wasn't even close. It wasn't even close to tip off, and it was so loud you couldn't hear the person next to you. You're right. And you know what else? And I'm gonna encourage everyone, and I want you to listen. And I really mean this. When the Kings came out onto the floor, some 17 or 18 minutes before the start of the game, everyone was in their seats. The place was already full. I want you to really listen to what I am saying. You want to make Game 1 as special of a memory as you can? Get out of the clubs, get out of the bars, and go to your seat when the team runs onto the floor. I understand that the Golden One Center has a lot to offer. All right, it is, I think, the nicest arena in the league. Be in your seats 20 minutes before tip-off. Get out of the concession lines, get out of the bathrooms, get out of the clubs, and be there in person, because you do not want to miss that. I want you to understand, based on experience, you do not want to miss that. So if you are blessed and fortunate enough to have tickets for Game 1 of the playoffs, be in your seats 20 minutes before tip-off. I said it. I'm not going to say it again, right? I will say it again. I want you to remember that. Please, please be in your seats.
And one other thing, if you are blessed enough to be a season ticket holder and we end up playing the Warriors, please, please do not sell your tickets to Warriors fans.
Thank you.
Please. There's nothing we can do to stop it, but karma might creep up, okay? Just saying. Please don't. Please.
Yeah. Yeah, the Tesla. That was pretty amazing. That was pretty amazing. That was what we thought would be the last time we would all be together. And that's when I broke down on camera with Jerry. And, it's such a shame that the 30 for 30 down in the Valley was pulled a week before it was supposed to air on ESPN, because that entire scene is very well chronicled. And not to pat myself on the back or Jerry, Jason Hare, who is the director of the 30 for 30 down in the Valley, also was the director for The Last Dance. He's one of the brightest minds that I've ever known when it comes to documentaries, video. I had a chance to visit Jason in New York for pizza one day in Greenwich Village when he was in the middle of putting together The Last Dance. And he had his laptop with him at the restaurant. He goes, "I want to show you something." And he showed me a trailer for The Last Dance. Mm-hmm. And I was sitting there and I couldn't believe what I was watching. And he said, "I'm not going to be done with this for a couple of months, but there will be nothing like this anywhere. It's going to be a 10-part documentary And when I saw the trailer at lunch that day, I couldn't believe it. But the 30 for 30, Jason talks about this. He got the idea to do this documentary on ESPN after Jerry and I broke down on TV. And then he had a call with Carmichael Dave. And he says that after those two things, he decided that he was going to approach his superiors and pitch the idea. And they were say, yep, do it. And he put together, and there are some that have seen it. It is absolutely unbelievable. But back to that post-game show, I had already seen the video, the Tesla video, the love story. And it, to this day, you can see it's still on YouTube if you want to look at it. I really encourage you to do so. It'd be great to reminisce and kind of get that good feel of what you all went through. I knew how emotional that night was going to be at about 4:30. I did an interview courtside for Channel 13, and I could barely get through the interview without breaking down. And as that game was an emotional game against the Lakers, it was crazy, all of that. When we got on camera and I started hearing the chants, Grant and Jerry, Grant and Jerry, and I'm thinking I only have one job right now. I have one job and one job only. My job is to get us to Tesla's love story. I need to compose myself. I knew I was going to break down. As soon as I looked at Jerry and he looked at me, I'm like, I lost it. And that was probably, in all of my years of broadcasting, the most difficult 20 to 30 seconds I've ever had on the air. I had my kids that had moved down. They were sitting right there. I'm looking at my boys who grew up in the arena, and I'm thinking, wow, this may not be anything they ever get a chance to experience again. The chance of Grant and Jerry. And I'm like, wow, how am I going to get off the air and get us to the rollout of Tesla? And so, yeah, that was so special, particularly when you realize that the Kings did play the following year and the following year and the following year. And here we are now, fast forward to 2023, and it's the playoffs. So, yeah, I've got some great memories. I'm blessed to have been your TV announcer for 32 years. I'm blessed to have been in the Sacramento community for more than half my life. I always share the story when people come up to me and ask me, hey, where are you from? I don't say I'm from New York. I say I'm from Sacramento. Anyone can come up to me. Hey, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Sacramento. Oh, really? Where? You know, I mean, so that's how much I feel about the community. It was amazing.
Which community in Sacramento did you pick up that accent from?
I picked up that accent cursing with my buddies on the golf course.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
It wasn't from
Yeah.
Syosset. Got it. You know, the thing about that moment with you and Jerry was, and this is just me watching as a fan strictly, it felt like that's the exact moment you guys would have had if there were no cameras around you when you were trying to kick to Tesla. When you guys, I think you put your hand on his shoulder or vice versa, and you guys just looked at each other. I think it was that gut wrench for us because, you know, it just as much as the players in the team, it was the two of you together. I mean, you guys were the audio to that.
I go back and watch that. I go back and watch that video every now and then, and it's like an out of body experience. Like I watch the video and I can't put myself in there. I'm watching the video, not realizing that's me on the video. Does that make sense? Like I can't.
Yeah.
It's
you can't remember what you felt like in that moment.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I just remember try to be a professional, do your job, and get to the rollout of the video. And I didn't know if I would be able to get to the video. I mean, I did not know if I would be able to do that. But, you know, here we are. And I'm so happy that this team is going to the playoffs. I'm so happy for Gary Gerould, who's the most fine human being you'd ever want to meet in your life. And he's been through a lot of tough times. He lost his daughter, Beth, 3 years ago to the day. He we would travel together and we'd sit right across from each other on the plane, and we all knew what he was going through, and yet he still showed up to go to work every day. And his wife Marlene and son Bobby would be there to help with Beth and take care of Beth. I mean, that was for years and years and years and years and years and years. And when she passed, we were so heartbroken for that family. And Gary's now in his early 80s, and he's still going strong. And I could not be happier for the man. I could not be happier for the man. Thank you for your donation, and it is my pleasure. My pleasure. I'm happy to share this. I really am. I'm very happy to share these stories. But I will tell you, when you're with the team for as long as we have been, they're our family. You probably know more about those individuals almost than you know about your own family. When someone's children are struggling or did something stupid, or someone's got cancer, or somebody's family member is close to dying, whatever. I mean, you know everything. Everyone knows about each other's lives, and we talk about it because we're together all the time. There's really nothing that I can quite compare it to. You have two families when you're a professional sports announcer. You have your family, and then you have the family of the team, and everything that goes on with the team encompasses your life, and it is your life. And that's what you talk about every single day. You talk about it on the plane, on the bus, on the way to the game, after the game. Okay. You talk about this player did this, that player did this, that player was so stupid. I can't believe that player said this. I can't believe he did it. Boy, the coach doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Gee, the coaches are arguing. This is going to be awful. And I'll tell you you have to understand where I'm coming from. When a coaching staff got fired, and that happened a lot, when you got on the first flight of the year in preseason, and you see a whole new coaching staff walk on, and where they sit and what their routine is, you sit there and you go, wow, last year we had 7 different people sitting in those seats. And then 2 years later, a whole nother set of coaches, and they all have different rules about traveling and what their perks are and what hotels they like to stay at. And, who needs to get on the plane first, who needs to get off the plane last. This coach doesn't mind if you bring a family member. This coach says, oh no, players only. The whole thing was just, it's an incredible experience. I'll just tell you that.
I can only imagine, Grant. And talking about, you hit the nail on the head about having two families, because you're spending that much time with them. It's just like being on the team. But I would imagine there's a lot of people that are in positions that you and Jerry and G-Man have been in that aren't that close, or maybe don't get along. I mean, It seems like the bond all of you guys have has been very special. Very, very special.
Well, if I hung up on you, consider that a badge of honor, okay?
You don't usually get off that easy if he hung up on you.
Oh, what a night, huh? We're so happy for everybody
gosh.
joining us here on the stream and your support. And again, if you're joining us for the first time, please subscribe and hit that like button, the thumbs up. Really appreciate everything that you're doing. Incredible to have this type of reaction, this type of support, both here on YouTube and on Periscope.
Absolutely. And if you're joining us for the first time, please know we are about to roll our sleeves up to our freaking neck even more with Kings coverage. Our season of coverage is just getting started.
Yes.
So join us for the rest of the ride. We'd love to have you.
And don't forget to go to get your t-shirt if you don't like that.com/shop or grantnapier.com. And you can be sporting the If You Don't Like That Oh Boy t-shirt. So grateful for your support. All right, really are. And I'm also grateful for the support of New Works Plumbing. They are awesome. They have been in this greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. Just call the number on your screen or go to sacserviceplumbing.com. And remember, they're available 24/7. So if you have an emergency in the middle of the night, no problem. They'll be there for you. sacserviceplumbing.com. New Works Plumbing. They've got a fix for you. I don't know what else to say. I'm just so I'm like getting excited. I'm trying to say this without sounding super corny. Seeing all of the messages on our chat line tonight, like, has put me in like an elevated mood. I'm so freaking happy for you all. I really am. You all are so deserving of this. You are so deserving of this. And now let's go out and win some playoff games,
Hell
Go out and
yeah.
win a series.
Hell yeah. This is their night. Just throw their comments up. Let them
Yeah.
be seen. There's so many coming up, and for each of those comments represents somebody that's been a fan for 10, 15, 16, 30 years, and they're rejoicing right now. Love
Just
to
watch
have them.
the Love Song by Tesla. Yeah, it's there on YouTube. You can check it out. It's unbelievable. I mean, Craig Amazine, who was our director of broadcasting, was one of the best people I've ever worked with. I mean, Craig put that together. Craig was so, he and the staff put that together. He was so innovative. He was so creative. He's won multiple Emmys. He used to walk into his office and see, his Emmys that he won for his spectacular work. And I had so much respect for Craig. To this day, he's a very dear friend of mine, but he did great work. And that was his idea. And he was the man behind it. And it was beyond great. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. All right. I mean, I don't know what else to do right here. I'm so happy to see all the messages and all the people on the stream. I just, now that you're in the playoffs, get hungry, right? Get hungry. Go out and win a series or two.
Yeah, get hungry and get ready, because if you've not been a part of this city when the Kings are in the playoffs, everything's going to be purple. And it's not like bandwagon 49er season. I mean, these are true, legit Kings fans that wear their stuff 24/7. So you'll have people high-fiving you on the streets. It's just a ton of fun, and just soak up every little moment of it. Soak it up.
Man. Unfreaking believable. Again, if you're joining us for the first time, please subscribe to the channel. Also give us a thumbs up, hit that like button. We would greatly appreciate it. Yeah, that's right. Shock the nation. You're absolutely right. Absolutely.
We already did it once this season.
Yeah. Gary and Marlene are the most wonderful people that you could ever meet. Period. Period. There's really, I've never heard anyone say a bad thing about the Geralds. Gary and Marlene are the salt of the earth. They really are. So, all right. Some final thoughts, my friend.
One quick thought before final thoughts.
Yeah.
Everybody that's talking about Jerry, if you are new to this channel, or if you come and you just haven't had a chance, Jerry Reynolds is with Grant every Wednesday afternoon, usually 3 p.m. We did it a little late today, 4 p.m. Every Wednesday. Come check them out. It is just like old times, an amazing basketball conversation, same forum. You guys are involved. So be there right here on this channel.
Yeah, and I'm hopeful that Jerry will join us during the playoffs for some of our coverage after the game. So I'm looking forward to that. I mean, what else can you say about Jerry Reynolds? He is the Sacramento Kings. So, in closing, my parting words are this. This night, this season really is for you, but this night, celebrate and reflect of what the last 16 years have been like, what it means to be a true fan of a sports franchise. And just think about, isn't it amazing how one team can put you in a bad mood or put you in a great mood? Think about being grumpy or being happy based on how your team is playing. But tonight is a night of celebration. The drought, the futility, the embarrassment is over. The Kings are going to the playoffs, and they're going to have a home game to start things off, and it is going to be one of the most epic nights in the history of Sacramento sports. You fans, you deserve this. And so I will part with these words. Oh, if you don't like that, you don't like Kings basketball. Oh, boy. Rhino?
Love it.
Appreciate you, buddy. And we'll be on for the next Blazers game. You'll have the pregame. You and I will do a halftime and postgame. Looking forward to that.
Thank you, Grant.
Wow. Thank you to everybody. You are awesome. Kings are going to the playoffs. Oh, boy. So long.